change. It's nice, right? Do you know who loves change?
No,
JOJO Siwa. JOJO Siwa rebrands like Apple updates, okay? Her rebrands they're unnecessary, they're confusing, and they ruin the interface. It always feels like before was better. Roll back the updates, like what they did with the photo app. No, JOJO. I was in a cafe today, doom scrolling, when JOJO Siwa lands on my For You page. And I remember that I made a video about her not too long ago. It couldn't be a year ago, when she underwent an insane rebranding. She went from little girl icon to this went from being in toy stores to being in toy stores, you know? She was trying to be a gay icon. She just wanted to rip everything off and show these children a different side of her I don't think they wanted to see. Listen, she grew up, but that's okay. That's what we said last time. And she released all this music.
I can see a little bit of JOJO Siwa playing into, I don't know, the straightness of it all. She went from this like pride parade connoisseur to this now Betty Davis singing, red lipstick wearing, pearl having on trad wifey and type in this specific video. And I guess we'll see how that turns out for her. I've only seen JOJO Siwa in little blips of online history and our sort of media entertainment history, and she's always come on quite strong. And I think this is just characteristic of being a child star in general. On Dance Moms, she was continuously repeatedly performing. And as we all know, the Dance Moms episodes ended with those girls being placed in a pyramid as to like who's the best for that particular week. And I can't imagine that that's at all healthy for the psyche of a young child. She is literally raised and bred to perform her entire life and has done so since her appearance on that show. And I can imagine she kind of does the same in relationships. With my little knowledge of JOJO Siwa, every single time she seems to be in a new relationship, it comes out very quickly, very fast, and she is very boldly in love with this individual. And Chris Hughes has been no exception. They went viral for this photo going out that Chris Hughes shared of them in bed, calling her Sleeping Beauty. She's been on TikTok with this video right now saying, quote, "You look happier. Thank you. This is my mornings now, and I've perfected how to make the perfect tea." And she's just making tea with her now boyfriend, Chris Hughes, which he's come on very strong into her life, and they've come on as a couple for the public very quickly. So is she now in this sort of performative, conservative, trad wifeian relationship? Is she now in a state of transitional psychosis from having been this lesbian icon to now being in a straight relationship? I don't know. We've gotten a little bit of
named Christopher Hughes.
Something about women calling their male partners boy when they're a fully grown man is so funny to me. Like, that's not a boy. That's just Garrett. That's just Chris. Something else I find funny is JoJo describing how she and Chris weren't looking for love when they first met.
It really feels like that. I wasn't looking for love, he wasn't looking for love, and then all of a sudden we couldn't look away from each other.
What an interesting way to rewrite history. You weren't looking for love because it was right in front of you, JoJo. Even though most of us aren't falling for this bullshit, there are more and more people coming out in support of them. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Lesbian, right? But I feel like so queer. Cool. But then she proceeds to say, quote, the L, I'm going to the Q. Now, if you break it down, JoJo is effectively saying, the lesbian label, I'm going to the queer label. And while I think that JoJo is kind of impulsive or a lot impulsive and probably meant that just as an, oh my gosh, I've figured myself out. I'm not this, I'm that. Which, literally haven't we all had a messy self-discovery? A lot of people felt like she was saying F lesbians, queer is better. And I totally understand someone walking away feeling like that. Her phrasing it that way comes across very disrespectful, and it is unnecessary. There were fans who suddenly felt gut punched, and I think that's a valid feeling for them, as though, that she was stigmatizing the community to come to the Q instead, perhaps for the affection of a man.
Lesbian. Bisexual. Pansexual, pansexual, gonsexual, non-sexual, kiss sexual, gaslight sexual. JoJo Siwa is out here switching sexualities faster than Netflix is canceling good shows.
Chris Hughes, he was on Love Island, and he had a little bit of chocolate on his pants, and then he said, imagine it wasn't chocolate. Yeah, lick it, you freak. Whole time JoJo Siwa sitting there. You are on camera. What are you thinking? Your partner Kath Ebb's sitting there at home right now going, oh. Oh, this might even be more insane. They're in a hot tub right now. Look at their positioning. What are you talking about? You're drinking champagne, laid up. What are you doing, Chris? Cuddling in a hot tub. If that is not cheating, what the fuck is cheating? If cuddling in a hot tub isn't cheating while somebody goes like this and leans in, kisses her on her fucking eyelashes? You kiss me on my eyelashes while I'm cuddled up on you in a hot tub? I'm cheating.
It's just that I don't buy a lot of the Hollywood act and I can see through them. And there's no greater example of that than the beef that transpired between me and JoJo Siwa back when I was working for the Daily Wire. Adolescence, as I have said many times, is a natural phase to want to be nothing like your parents and to experiment with doing bad things. Once upon a time, people had cigarettes and they smoked cigarettes in high school. Now we have transformed into a world where people can like change their, experiment with their gender.
I identify as a black lesbian.
But typically it's just like I'm in an adolescent phase and I'm crying for attention. And I felt in my heart and in my soul that that was the situation with JoJo Siwa when she was like being a lesbian too hard. Like she just, every time she spoke, it was about being a lesbian. It would be weird if every time I spoke, I was just like, I want you guys to know how straight I am, like how heterosexual. Like, I am so heterosexual. I am just the most heterosexual person.
I am just coming out myself. I am coming out hetero.
You'd probably go, why do I feel like she's not heterosexual? That's how I felt about JoJo Siwa. And she didn't like that. Here's a clip of what I said about JoJo Siwa very quickly, and I'll show you how she responded. I don't believe JoJo Siwa is a lesbian, by the way. I want to state that very clearly. I do believe that she's desperate for attention. And she got on X, and this is how she replied to me. And this episode, again, this was about, April 2023. So this was 2 years ago. She wrote, I haven't watched the video yet, but if it has anything to do with your caption, respectfully back the F off. And it looks like I'm correct.
I've always told myself I'm a lesbian, but I think being here, I've realized, oh no, I'm not lesbian, I'm queer.
You are.
And I think that's really cool.
You are.
I'm switching letters!
You're queer.
All roads lead to Candace, JoJo Siwa.